Hello guys, gals, welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy, for the collective, our Friday collective reading with the fairies. So we're going to see which fairy wants to come out this week and talk to us and give us a message. So interesting thing happened this week really yesterday. I take a couple days off because I really go full on out and produce a whole bunch of content for the channel, like for the week coming up. And it's a lot of work, so I like to give myself a couple days off, and I really pull away from even like coming into this room, and you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to balance. So the day before, I will come back in and just kind of feel the cards out in the energy. And you know, it was really funny as I was just working with different decks and playing around, and it seems so obvious now. But it just, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the right time before, but, because, you know, I see there's many other readers that combine decks. And I've got another deck two decks that I thought, you know, they would combine really well together, and I will read them together, but actually combining them isn't that, maybe it's my OCD, because they're not exactly the same size. It kind of bothers me. So I was playing with some of the cards, and every time... Oh, actually, yeah. Now that I'm telling the story, more of my recollection on it is coming through. So what I was doing, what was I doing? Just the regular readings or the extended readings last week, and I was using my wild unknown animal spirit decks. And as I would put them away, I would put the wrong ones in each deck, and I thought, Cindy, yeah, because one is black and one is white. Like, it's pretty, you know. And I kept doing it. I thought, you know what? No, it's almost like these two decks are trying to come together, but I keep pulling them apart. So I thought, I think this is a sign. So I did it. I put them together, and then I worked a bit with the decks, and it's quite interesting. So that's what we're doing today. That's what I'm going to do. I've combined the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle and Tarot decks. It just makes so much sense, doesn't it, that they would be combined, but I just never did it before. They were trying to do it for me. I'm like, no, don't do that. You're making a mistake. But maybe there really are no mistakes in life. Maybe there are. So, well, really, there isn't. I think we look at things and go, well, I probably could have done that better, or maybe I should. But then you wouldn't have learned the lesson. So, right, you know. So I think let's get started and see which fairy is coming out for us today for the collective. What is the main fairy energy of this reading? Really, it's a prominent message too, because we are going to go into the book and see specifically what this card, whichever fairy comes forward, is trying to tell us or teach us this week, or like, well, whenever you come to the reading. Hello, someone was wanting to jump out, of course. He of the Fairy Sword. I think that's he. Maybe it's the... Oh, number 4. Ooh. The Fairy Sword. Oh, this feels an awful lot like a lot of air energy, like truth, clarity, understanding, thinking, cognizant abilities. Let's see what number 4 has for us this week. It is he of the Fairy Sword. There you go. All right. The active principle, spiritual will, justice, and protection. When the song comes into any of the manifest worlds, this world or fairy or another, it first encounters two principles, sometimes called yin and yang, or masculine and feminine, or great god and great goddess. He of the Fairy Sword is the primary manifestation of the Yang principle: action, will, movement, force, fire. We see him in many ways, each one an aspect of his total being. All of the great gods and protectors are aspects of this power. Wow, are we getting like a bang on of Yang energy with this? It's interesting. Have you guys noticed like how yin and yang has been playing out like crazy all over the channel lately? Okay. The Fairy Sword is the archetype of all magical and mundane swords, and written upon the blade are the words, "Draw me not without cause, nor return me without honor." Wow, let me hear that again. So written upon the blade are the words, "Draw me not without cause, nor return me without honor." I really love that. It's almost like that, you know, the Ace of Swords, but why are you bringing out this truth? Or why are you holding fast to what it is that you have such desire to do? And really, don't do it without a true cause. What is your true cause? Really know that, and then really see honor in doing that. A member of the Oracle group notes, "His fiery sword illuminates truth and dispels not truth." Isn't that interesting? I'm sorry, Kiva, it just... Remember we had the good, the bad, and the bad, and the good? Like, it really depends on how you look at something. This one is coming out a little bit different. We can call upon the master of the fiery sword when we have difficult things to do. When we need to take action, it is going to require much of us, both in will and in compassion. Another of the Oracle group reminds us, he will do what needs to be done with love. When looking at this card, my neighbor saw it not as a sword, but as a feather of light. He saw it as a symbol of the ability to fly, to rise above things. An Oracle group member saw it as someone reaching up, ascending, surrounded by multiple reflections, and filled with light and power. To understand this card more fully, please read the comments on She of the Crouch. They are the two halves of the same whole. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, and that's a nice... It's really good. Oh, right? That is the receptive principle, nurturing and fertility. Wow, it's literally like, so, okay, well, I'm not going to go into that. So that's what they were saying to go into the so this is sort of its companion. Oh, it's not, you see the crow. I've had to say that before. All of my UK friends will correct me on that one, I know. The starter reading. The presence of the fairy sword's master in a reading can indicate that there is a need for clear and focused will and determination to carry through on decisions, even if much effort is required. Or he can tell us that such will and strength is present in regard to the issues under consideration. We need to consider how he is expressing his will and strength and how that expression may be enhanced or improved. It is the singer's energy that enables us to burst the bonds of an outgrown way of being and move on to the next level. He indicates that this is a time to take action based on clear spiritual will. His presence indicates great strength and great potential for good. It also reminds us that, if we call upon him, we will receive assistance. The presence of this card in a reading radiates strength and willpower to the cards around it. Oh, and Brian has given us a quote for this one. Fairies cannot be pinned down to a page, a list, a single definition. To grasp their elusive nature requires direct experience and personal engagement. Wow. I need to read that. I'm not going to do it again. I really need to absorb all of this, like to take it in. And it is really being, so this is the active principle, and then the receptive principle is sort of its counterpart. So this is the yang of the yin and the yang. Wow. Or so sometimes called yin and yang, or masculine and feminine, or great god and great goddess. Well, I don't know what kind of reading we're going to get today, but that's interesting. So he of the fiery sword. So they'll really let you look at that. Now, what I'm going to do before I go into my my mixed deck, isn't that cool? It's like bringing the two energies together, like yin and yang. I've been called, this deck has been nagging at me to pick it up again. What the heck is it truly called? It's been so long on the box. It is an animal oracle deck. It is another animal oracle deck. And I'm called upon to ask for a card that is the deeper meaning of why we're here, which is kind of interesting because before I pulled out the fairy card, I thought, well, the fairy card is sort of why that is. But this is giving power to whatever comes out, right? This is giving power to whatever comes out. So now that sort of makes sense. So what is the main card for the collective here from the Animal Spirit Oracle deck? The main card, the main message. It's more yang. I'm telling you, it's more yang. It is stag spirit. Take the lead. Now this stag is totally in touch with its yin energy as well. It's all decorated up. It's looking good. It's got its peacock going on, right? It's beautiful energy. Take the lead. It's time to take the lead, guys. There you go. No more sitting back. And this card is to empower whatever comes out. It's to add more power, more strength. I really feel that. More power and more strength to whatever comes out right now. Ooh, let's get into the tarot cards. Let's just see where this is going. Oh, I should tell you guys too. Actually, it's probably a better way to do it. Although not everyone comes into here. It's because I am about to start a procedure of getting some dental work done. So years ago, I had my teeth straightened, and the orthodontist at the time, well, I guess he did what he knew, I don't know. But the whole procedure now is to allow things to grow forward. So he pushed my jaw back to where it shouldn't be. My jaw was actually in a better alignment, but my teeth are straighter, but I don't have a healthy bite. So I'm actually taking the initiative because I have noticed changes that my specialized dentist was asking me about a few years ago. I'm like, I don't experience any of that. Everything's fine. I haven't experienced some of it. So I'm thinking, you know what? You can't replace your jaw joints. You can't. And that's the big reason for why I'm having this done. So it's really not a cosmetic thing. It is to improve the function of my jaw and my bite. So I do have right now, let me in here, I have the spacers in here. They put the spacers in. So for the first 4 months, you probably won't see the appliances in my mouth because they're actually gonna sit inside there. Gonna sit in here. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna start pulling my palate forward. Just a little bit, just a little bit. And then once they've got the palate forward, they've had like all these specialized x-rays and all sorts of stuff. Like he's really, this is what he does. Well, he does other things too, but he's very specialized in a proper bite. He believes in a functionality first and then the cosmetic aspect. So I'm just letting you know because I like right now it is bothering me. I've had almost 24 hours to get used to the spacers, and maybe it's affecting the way I sound a bit, but I'm sure my voice is going to sound funny once the appliance goes in and starts pushing these forward. After that's done, after about 4 months, then I get braces. I was hoping for Invisaligns, but you can't do it for this procedure. You need braces again. I'm like, oh God. Really? Because then what they're going to do is he's actually going to move every single tooth and make a precise, perfect bite. So that I'm just letting y'all know now. I don't want to have to, every time something is done and you're like, oh, she has braces, I don't have to come in and talk about that. I'm just giving you a heads up now because my mouth is a big part of these videos. So I did ask him, I said, I'm still going to be able to talk, right? He said, oh yeah, you'll be fine. But they always say that, right? Yeah. So just to give you a heads up, that's what's going on for me. Okay. See, this is a lot to shuffle. I have to split it in half. Okay, 6 cards. 6 cards. Well, look at that. We got counterpart energy at the end. That's so interesting, guys. The 6 of Pentacles is at the bottom. Balance, harmony. What? Everything. This is what is so incredible. Everything that comes out today in this reading, it's being this card. Just look at it, hold it, grasp it. I'm going to play this video for myself or even after this, and I'm going to read that again. It was quite interesting, the empowerment of this card. It is really the yang energy taking power here. So that is the masculine within all of us as well. Although I was accused earlier this week. I had to delete the comment. Nice. They said more things than just that. Apparently I exude too much masculine energy. I am an Aries. Like, come on, you know. Balance, balance. Okay. It was coming from a feminine sign, so I guess they didn't like it. But they're supposed to like it. I don't know. Anyways. You've got, I'm very sassy lately. I don't know if it has to do with any planetary placement, but I'm very sassy. I'm full on sass, and I do apologize if anyone is finding that too excessive. I can't, it feels funny. I'm trying to calm it down, but I feel funny turning it off. And it's not natural. If I'm supposed to be sass right now, maybe I'm supposed to be sass. Maybe that's the way the messages need to come out right now. I'm just being sass. The first two cards we have here are the Three of Swords and the Earthworm. What a beautiful explanation of that. The Three of Swords and the Earthworm. If there's any sort of heartbreak, any sort of heaviness in the heart chakra, really, I'm just getting this explanation of this beautiful, wonderful energy that is trapped within that can't come out. Doesn't feel safe coming out. It's not the right time to come out. It sits there and it's because the heart is meant to be shared. It really, truly is. The heart is meant to be shared, or we wouldn't all be living, you know, as social creatures. We would be living as, what are some of the most isolated type animals? I don't know. Right? Like, we are social creatures in that sense. So let's not get too political, guys. I'm just talking about your life in a greater sense here, way beyond pandemics and anything like that. So, I mean, some of this energy is for sure coming in. I just don't want to politicize the reading. That's for sure. I want this really to be about your deeper self here. This is about sharing what you have inside with you. If it feels like there's a heaviness in the heart, or it can't, I mean, it's just such a simple explanation. Wanting what you have inside, what gifts inside you have, what beauty you have inside of you to be shared, to expand and grow. Because that's what threes are to me in the tarot. It's about expansion and growth. Threes are all about expansion and growth. When it's all tied up, when it's all locked up, it can't expand and grow. And that's what this earthworm is just like. The earthworm reminds me a lot. Like this, it kind of mimics it. Like it's all tangled up. It's tied up tight. It can't get it out. It can't express it. All this beautiful color and creativity that can't be expressed. Wow, now that I look at this, these all look like counterparts. They really do. I mean, these two are probably the least obvious, but it's the first thing that jumped out at me. It's like the same thing. It's like the same thing. And then now here, the Dragonfly and the Six of Wands. It's so similar. I mean, the color scheme, they're both little creatures of flight. One is full metamorphosis and the other one is partial, I think. I think that's the only difference. Yeah, because the dragonfly, I don't think the dragonfly goes into a cocoon. It lives as a, is it a nymph? No. I used to remember what it was called. I took biology in college and I can't remember entomology. And even, gosh, the colors, even the greeny blue. It's as if, so what I'm getting here, I mean, the six is about, you can say it's a little bit like a restitution, like six. It's harmony coming back where harmony was displaced. And in that we find victory. Because, I mean, that's what the Six of Wands is. And then here with the Six of Pentacles, we can really say that. And because this is not a full metamorphosis, it's only partial. It is not a full victory. It is not fully completing a cycle. It is not completing a cycle to what it is truly meant to be completed into. It's only partially. And what I get often with the dragonfly is, you know, starting to see the truth. Starting to understand it more clearly, because with their wings being, you know, sort of semi-transparent, you can see through them a bit, but it's still a little distorted. It's not completely clear. But yet then the butterfly is completely removed from any obstacles below, and it does soar. Okay, so then the next, if you can't already see it, it's the Queen and King of Cups. Literally, the Mother and Father of Cups. And then we have the completion of the cycle, right? Wow. How fascinating is that, guys? How fascinating is that? You know what? I'm being told to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm being told to pull out the counterpart for number 4, which is number 5. I want to say it right. The crow. It's, yeah, it looks kind of like crotch, but it's crotch. It's, because there's definitely some interesting counterpart energy, and yin and yang energy has been playing out so strongly in my channel. And you know, maybe if you just watch one sign and it hasn't appeared in your sun sign, if that's what you focus on, you may not have caught it. But, you know, being the reader and doing all these readings, I mean, I caught it, and I think it was a couple of weeks ago, it was Leo and Virgo, like very prominently. And it's popped around this week as well. And it's just absolutely fascinating that thinking about when I started this reading, one of the very first messages that came out from the Oakman, if not the very first, was this need to balance yin and yang energy. And we can't balance yin and yang energy outside of us, like in our society or on Earth, until we completely balance it within ourselves. And then once we do that, we affect the energy that we move into and move around with, right? So, oh my gosh. See, she of the Cruach. The crow? I'm gonna call it the crow. No, I'm not. I know I'm wrong. I'm just drawing it. So, oh, we better find her in here. She's in here, number 5. Ah, number 4. Like, think about this too. 4s are all about stability and balance, and the 5 is a need for change. The 5, it's not an energy to stay in, right? Why is it like half the month? Yeah. So there is a balance. The yang will balance the yin. This artwork is so beautiful. I don't know, something going on with YouTube. I don't always read all the emails that I get. Shit, I'm so bad with that. I just want to be, you know, happy, free, and fancy light. But I've noticed more and more readers that have cards with any sort of nudity, they're like holding it back. I'm like, I better not show that. So yeah, there she is. So I don't know if something's gone on. So now it has, because the artwork in this is so beautiful. And talk about needing balance too. Like if that's the case, that what I really love about this artwork, it is very so true to the feminine figure. And you know, being an artist myself, I really feel very strongly that when he created these decks, he had live models. I'm going to show this. I don't know if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. But I mean, it's just such a beautiful piece of artwork, is it not? It's just absolutely beautiful. And it's the feminine form and a very natural, it's just so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But when I talk about balance, like in my channel, it hasn't been so bad lately, but I've been getting these bots that post these links to, like, you know, hot mamas in your neighborhood, or she wants to please you. And it's just like, you click on it, it's just full on naked, and it's kind of raunchy. I don't know. To me, I think this is very beautiful. It's just, it's an art form. The human body is an art form. Why do we need to make it nasty? But doesn't it seem crazy that it's okay for that to appear in a comment section, but it's not okay for readers to show something like that? I don't know. Anyways, this is the crazy world we live in. So, number 5, let us read about this yin energy. The receptive principle, nurturing and fertility. This is the great goddess, the many-named mother of all, and all goddesses are attributes or aspects of her. Her cup, the craw, overflows with bounty for all. She is the yin energy of the universe, nurturing, compassionate, and wise. She gives form and brings into manifestation the will and life force of he of the fiery sword. Oh, they work so well together, right? I love it. I just love this reading. So yes, he of the fiery sword is the one that strengthens everything. And she actually gives the life to it, which is great. Wow, it's really like Isis. Yeah, Isis, almost Osiris, right? his is the intention, the action, and hers is the manifest reality. In a sense, she is the crow holding all the worlds within her being. One oracle group member saw, I know I'm messing this word up. One oracle group member saw the crow as a great bowl, like a scrying tool for seeing past, present, or future potential, but filled with the energy instead of water. Oh. Within it, he saw a tower with a moon above it, a farmhouse, and many other bits and pieces of our world. He felt that if you dropped something in the water, these things would scatter out to become reality, archetypes manifesting everywhere. He said, "She is the woman who dreams, and her dreams are the worlds and all that is in them." Looking at this card, another oracle group member notes, "What I see here is the energy of being held lovingly in the palm of the hand of the great goddess, followed by a relaxed sigh and release." She of the crow is the holder of all of our sorrows and all of our joys. The miraculous chalice is the womb of birth and the cauldron of rebirth, the chalice of healing, the container holding the germinating seed. She is the body, the soul shrine that holds the spirit and keeps it from being lost or dissipated in a formless fog. She is pattern and form in the abstract and in the specific. Within her, we take form, grow, achieve fulfillment, and let go of that form to move on to the next phase of our being. All of the universe, each individual particle, every being is cherished by her. So as a starter reading, she of the crow may indicate a form of pregnancy, a necessary time of nurturing and development. We need to be open to her overflowing grace. She may also indicate a need to allow her nurturing grace to flow through us to others in the form of unconditional love and giving and spiritual healing. She tells us of the need for unconditional receiving, of making the best of what we are offered. She also reminds us that unbounded love and grace is ours, just waiting to be accepted. The presence of this card in a reading radiates comfort and nurturing to the cards around it. Oh, how ideal. How ideal. This card brings strength and power, whatever that, however, I don't know if I'm wording that right, exactly, as per quoted, to all of the cards around it. And this is just like love and nurturing to all of the cards around it. This is amazing. This is an amazing reading. Am I the only one that's thinking this is so cool, the way these cards have come out and what they're explaining to us? I mean, here too, the Mother and Father of Cups, the yin and the yang, the he and the she. And we're talking about like chalices here, cup energy, feelings and emotions. But you know, we always talk about that as readers too. Feelings and emotions are the gamut. Like they can be good feelings and emotions, they can be bad feelings and emotions. It's the expression of those feelings and emotions, but it's also nurturing those feelings and emotions and also being able to control them. When we control our feelings and emotions, really, we gain more strength. We strengthen the feelings and the emotions, the strengthening and the nurturing. Are we all coming into this balance that's being asked of us? I'm working on it. Apparently I'm too masculine right now. The Dragonfly. I'm trying to figure out how is it fitting in terms of the as a yang. I'm seeing this as like the yang and this is the yin. So the yang energy at some times maybe it's difficult to understand. Maybe it's difficult to fully see or understand the actions behind it because there's more control. But in a way, it gives strength to the yin aspect of you because it helps you come up again from a point where you couldn't see, where you couldn't bring yourself up again, where you couldn't rise from the ashes, or you couldn't rise from the confusion or whatever makes you feel trapped or held back. But this yang energy sits inside you to almost catapult you into victory. And then as you hit the victory, then this yin, like this need for almost not even having action. Just going with the breeze and going where the river flow takes you. It's funny, now I'm going backwards in the reading. I don't know why, I'm just being asked to call out clarifiers for those two. Everything else here is sitting okay. This is cute. I wanted to see what was on the bottom. Know your worth is sitting on the bottom. Skunk spirit. Wow, that's an interesting message. So with the know your worth, worth card, I'm getting the message with it. If things are coming towards you, like accept them. Accept it. And that was kind of stated to us in what I just read. She of the crow. I know I'm saying that wrong. I feel so bad about it. Oh, she looks like a deer. Doesn't that look like a deer? That looks like a deer. Doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like the stag. Wow, it's almost as if this gave birth to the stag. In a way, it sort of does. And it reminds me, like, speaking of this goddess energy, it reminds me very much of Isis. And she did to her husband Osiris. She gave him life again. She collected all of his parts and put them back. Kind of unusual, but there's different ways you can look at that too. Like with Isis and Osiris, collecting his parts and putting him back together again, making the yang feel whole. The yin makes the yang feel whole, and the yang empowers the yin. So what I'm getting here is, too, like a lot of times, and I know it often, but there is a lot of he and she in this, but also understand that it is yin and yang. That, you know, feminine energy is maybe more apprehensive sometimes to accept something, or but yang will go for it. Like the yang energy will claim that and say, oh yes, I've been working for this, I want that, I'm going to take it. Where, you know your worth. When things come towards you that are really good things, accept it. Like take it. And even energetically, right? Like even on a mental level, like say I deserve this, I worked for this, I earned this. I'm really getting that with this card, like to know your worth. On the surface, that card just seems like it's saying, you know that you're great, you got good. No, I feel like it's trying to tell us, like when things come towards you, when the universe is bringing something to you, accept it, take it. It's how that balance is achieved. It's how the universe can pay you back for the energy that you've put out there as well. So it can't be. You can't bring balance into the universe unless you accept the things that the universe is trying to give to you. And that's the whole idea here, right? Because it was bringing this yin and yang energy balance within us so that can actually happen outside of us. When gifts or good fortune come towards you, to accept it. And yeah, Lily is in the room. She's in the room so much now that the camera's not on her. It's so funny. She's so relaxed. I guess it's hard to sleep when you know that like thousands of people could be watching. She's like, yeah, that'd be kind of weird. But how does she know, right? She's so intuitive. Okay, the Three of Swords and the Earthworm. The Three of Swords and the Earthworm. Oh my gosh, the Three of Swords came out. The Three of Swords, the Magician, and the Eight of Cups. So when there is this energy of the heart sitting in sadness, disappointment, heaviness, heartbreak, I mean, it's like it's bleeding here. It's bleeding here. It pushes us to manifestation because threes are about growth and expansion. It's always the hardest point of any part of our lives is always where we grow and expand the most. It really is. And the devil card is not here right now, but it does get a bad rap, because if that devil energy didn't come into our lives to try to manipulate us and for us to figure it out and work through it and grow beyond that, we wouldn't. We'd be in the same position we always are. So with the Eight of Cups, it forces us to go into manifestation. And when it's Eight of Cups, it is like a really on your own energy. And it's leaving an awful lot behind. Emotionally, leaving things behind emotionally, emotional baggage. Things that we've invested in our lives up to this point. And I'm really noticing the skies in these three cards, and I never really looked at the skies in this deck. But the Three of Swords is cloudy and rainy. And the Magician is this glowy, almost like a sun rising energy. And then the Eight of Cups, it's just like a cool day. Almost feels like a cool day, like it's kind of a bluey sky with wispy clouds. So, you know, with the darkness, the heaviness, the emotions that overwhelm us, that flood us, it's all designed to create. I mean, this Magician, to me, I'm just feeling like sun energy, like wish fulfillment. It really pushes you to recognize what you want in life. When everything is just, you know, really okay and everything's sitting on this level and we don't get big dips, it doesn't challenge us to think about what you really want, where you really want to be, what you want to accomplish, how you want to feel, what you want to experience. The Earthworm. All we got was the Lovers on the Earthworm. Again, counterpart energy, yin and yang. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've seen a few other videos, like just in my feed as I'm scrolling, and I haven't actually clicked on them. Maybe I should, because they might be interesting. It's but sometimes I'm kind of thinking, I think those are just like a little bit of clickbait, like union is coming, or I don't know, this divine masculine and feminine counter. Sometimes I think these readings are designed to convince me, because I am a bit of a skeptic on that. I just think that there's a lot of different soulmates that you have in and out of your life in a lifetime. But there is really something here. It's like the universe is trying to hit me on the head, like, Cindy, really? Come on, how much more obvious can we make it? Yes, I don't know. But yeah, the Lovers here, because it's almost like it's trying to say something, like there's almost the energy of yin and yang energy is starting to balance. It's starting to balance, right? It's starting to balance. Oh my gosh, that's a big change. I'm looking at the Dragonfly and the Six of Wands. So I think this is it. So it's a Hermit into the Ten of Cups. Wow. I mean, what is so close to me for Hermit energy is the Eight of Cups. It's very, very similar energy. It's going off on your own. It's leaving things behind. It's kind of, I'd like to say that I feel like the Eight of Cups is the energy of the person who is moving towards Hermit energy. You know, they're just sort of vacating all of the things that they've left behind. And that energy sort of still, it sits right behind them. It's still, you know, it's still present. It's still in their energy. Where the Hermit is now complete, he's really gone into those mountains. He's been on that journey. She's been on that journey for a while. Gone into the mountains and really disposed of any outside energies from the past, to just look within and look for your own light, because that's the reason here for heartbreak, disappointments, things that haven't worked out. It's to push you into the light. It's to push you into a greater light too. Maybe you thought you were in the light. Maybe it was not the real light. It wasn't your real light. It wasn't, at least for your next journey. Nothing stays the same, right? And no one really should stay the same. And the Ten of Cups. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's that counterpart balance again. Happiness, wish fulfillment. the Mother of Cups, specifically the Mother. I'm going to look at both of these separately. The Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to get the Father of Cups and then we're going to put it together. The Father of Cups. The Father of Cups. Oh, isn't that funny? The Strength. Okay. Because if we think about what the yin energy, sorry. Not just my own private reading here. You guys are here too, right? Yeah. So the Father of Cups got the Justice card and the Strength card. Isn't that interesting? With that yang energy. Now the Mother of Cups has the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, eights to me too are all about infinite possibilities. Yeah, and then the Strength card always has the infinity symbol there. So the infinite possibilities that come between these two energies. The Wheel of Fortune, a shift. I'm really getting some sort of a shift. There's some sort of a shift for the feminine energy in terms of what it puts its work into, what it works towards. And the shift makes sense because the real main reason, I don't want to lose that either because I have brought yin energy in, is the yang. It is he of the fiery sword. That is the reason this reading is here. But it did seem pretty obvious that there is, he of the fiery sword cannot exist without she of the crow, or the craw, the crook. Lass, I'm not saying it right, I know I'm not. Okay, so the Father of Cups, the yang energy, it strengthens everything in this reading. It brings balance, karmic justice. Interesting that the wheel is associated here with the Mother of Cups, because that can be karmic cycles. That can be going in and out of cycles, making different choices to guide us along the way. And then I like this Justice card is really about bringing karmic balance. Has the strength to bring karmic balance. The yang energy has the strength to bring karmic balance here. Maybe there's a reason I have too much masculine energy right now. See? Yeah, because it's bringing some sort of karmic balance. I just feel like all of a sudden everything just stopped. The cards have been doing that lately. I really want to pull out, okay, well, yes. Yeah, the Take the Lead card is looking at me. I want to know which tarot deck I'm going to use for it. We're going to stick with animals. I haven't pulled this one out in a while. This is my doggy spirit tarot. So I'm just going to move everything down so I can shuffle a little bit better. We're looking at the Stag spirit here. Take the lead, because I want to give you some sort of direction or guidance. Whoops. So take the lead. What is the best topic to take the lead for all of those coming to this reading? Take the lead. Take the lead. And it's asking you, right with the Stag, with your yang energy, to take the lead. So take action. Make movement. Cause movement. That's an awful lot of cards. That's a lot. A lot of cards. Let's be a little more specific. That's okay. We're going to get it right. 3 more shuffles. The Earth Puppy. Oh gosh, since I've used this deck. I think it's the Page of Pentacles. I think the Earth Puppy is the Page of Pentacles. Wow, that's like really going into it like with new. Like this student of life. But taking it, like look at it, it's explorative. They're going out into the field and they're exploring. Okay, so go out into the field and explore. The Sky Guardian, ooh, which is the Knight of Swords. Do this quickly. And then the Two of Earth. Find balance. Create balance. Make some choices here to create some sort of balance. This Two of Earth is really about finding a balance, isn't it? Finding a very fine balance here. That's a big dog on one end. But if we've got if everything is in the right spot, there be balance. You can actually balance that out. If everything is in the right spot, you can actually balance this out. I mean, this is really, don't show any hesitation to go towards exploring. Don't show any hesitation to, with the Earth puppy, which is like the Page of Pentacles, to learning new things. If there's something that you're feeling compelled to go towards, don't show any hesitation right now. If it feels right, right? Like that's what it's telling you. Because no matter how unbalanced it might seem, there's some sort of balance that will be achieved here. It's almost as if the cards are telling us that it's impossible for there not to be balance. As unlikely as that may seem to you, with this giant dog on one side and this little tiny lily-sized dog on the other side of that. It is impossible for there not to be balance here somehow. The Death card, look at this. This is bringing it right back to life. This is the best Death card. Talk about death and rebirth. Ooh, Anubis, sorry, I said that wrong. Anubis, which, yes, guards the gates of the unknown, the afterlife. Wait, there was something here. Somebody said something about a feather. Because when I said that in one of these quotes, it reminded me right away of Anubis. Because in the Egyptian text, Anubis would, those that died that were going to pass to the other side, he would weigh their heart against that of a feather, right? And so yes, he would have the scales of justice, in a sense. He would have the scales of justice. And if the heart was true, if the heart weighed, I guess, the same or less than the feather, the heart wasn't weighed down by, all of the entrapments in this three-dimensional experience, because you can't take that with you into the spirit realm. You really can't. That has to be left behind. So if the heart was found to be pure, it could pass through the gates. Interesting, because there's some sort of balance here. Perhaps your heart has been found pure in something that you've been working towards, or you've purified your heart in your journey too. I mean, this is the Three of Swords. The heart has been broken. That heart's not been purified. I mean, no matter what we've gone through, we still have the ability, as difficult it may seem, and as long as some roads are compared to others, the heart can be purified again. But there is a journey involved in that purification process, so that you can go through the gates with Anubis. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, I wanted to pull out a pair of rubber band. I wanted to pull out an oracle deck. Okay, I'll pull it out. I'm being called to my goddess deck. I thought maybe the God and Titan, but it's not calling me at all. Because we started this with the Yang energy. So this is the final card, guys. So this is fascinating. Interesting how these readings come out, isn't it? And the way the theme just continues to play through. A final message to all those coming to this reading as the collective. New beginnings. Oh, there you go. 1 and 3 is 4. There we go. The balance, the harmony, the union. New beginnings, guys. New beginnings. very much kind of like Empress energy here. Because the crown, you know, when I first looked at the crown, I thought, oh, it's like jewels, but it's not. It's all tiny little flowers that have been put together to sort of look like jewels. They're all tiny little flowers in there. It's very much like Empress energy. Coming into your really divine feminine energy, because it's being strengthened, or it is to be strengthened by the masculine energy. The yin energy is really coming into its power. And it feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like the yang energy sits behind it, or has been sitting behind it, and through things that are not understood, have actually strengthened the yin energy. And I really got that over here with these 4 cards. There are things that are just not understood, or haven't been understood about how yang energy has worked, but in the whole grand scheme of things, it's actually worked to empower the yang energy within all of us, the yang energy around the globe. And in that, this Empress energy does come forward to produce, and then the yang energy will create some sort of balance here, or strengthen what is created, to give strength and protection to what is created. There you go. Whew, that was so fascinating, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I wasn't too masculine for you. I'm not gonna let that go. I'm so bad. I'm an Aries Gemini. I get me all feisty. Don't get me feisty. I'll tell you, know how I stand with you, but that's all I can say. Just know. There'll be no hiding anything. You just know right away. Okay. That's enough of my sass. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful weekend. If you're watching this before the weekend, and just have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it may be. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye. Kruik. There, I did it. Did I get that right now? Kruik. I don't know how you get that as, anyways, English is crazy. I just had to fix that. It was driving me crazy. Kruik. Bye.